One of the 10 best golf courses in America, Pinehurst number 2. This is the Carolina Hotel. It has a chipping green right next to the hotel. I'm walking over to give you a look. Maybe I did it really bad. That's the chipping green. Really nice feature. Pool as well. Here are some shots of the hotel. Obviously, that's on the internet. I loved sitting on this patio. So if you're thinking about going there, and this is where you get your breakfast, it's in this area. This is the type of amenities, kind of like The Shining right here. The way you drive in, that's the front, and that actually down that pathway leads to Pinehurst number 2. Oh, and if you go to Pinehurst, thunderstorms really do happen. Here's a more elegant look at that breakfast situation. When you go to Pinehurst number 2, it's kind of like going to a museum. You're seeing a bunch of signage of really famous people, historical documents, all different types of stuff. Then you go to the course, and everyone tells you, I wish I had filmed my first shot. It was so good. And then this was the Mr. Pulley shot. Just how you want to start out on it. Hit a good drive, pull it, and we got the sandy area counter. Look at this lie, and this kind of sums up Pinehurst. Thinned the chip, ended up with double bogey. Not really how you want to start. The main issue, there's two issues I have with Pinehurst number 2. Absolutely crushed that, by the way. Go Lukie, shirt tucked in, love it. But there's no rough, so you're hitting out a lot of these sandy areas. Keep that in mind if you don't like playing out of sandy areas. Two issues. Driving, rather uninteresting. I'd love to see like the legend Audrey Kepler play this course because she would annihilate it from off the tee. Now, this is a story in and of itself. We're going to pause the clip. Obviously, everyone talks about the turtleback greens here, and I just chipped into a wall and it ran back. But on this hole, a marshal or a guy who did the pace of play actually asked me if I was from the north. I've never actually had someone ask me if I'm from the north, so that was a different experience. But what he really meant was, if you have these type of shots, you always putt them. And that was something I lived by after that. The margin of error around these greens are hard to fathom until you play them. You have to hit specific shots from specific questions the course is asking. Meaning you have to land balls in certain trajectories with certain amounts of spin on certain pockets. And I never understood until playing Pinehurst number 2 that a lot of courses, even hard courses, offer you a bit of forgiveness, whether it is with the strike because of the tight lie or because of the fact that you don't have to land so precisely in an exact spot. Pinehurst number 2 is meant for the best players in the world, asking them to hit specific shots to answer specific questions. And this right here was when I realized that, as I made my second double bogey of the day. So as you see, the ball came back to my feet. Very frustrating. Once again, not the most intimidating driving course. I honestly think most people that play number 2, you will not lose a ball. This was just a bad yardage. I should have bought a yardage book and played a yardage. I didn't have a rangefinder. Literally missed the pin by like 4 feet, but because it landed hard and didn't have the right trajectory, it flew over, landed on this sandy path, and I ping-ponged back and forth for my third double bogey. Sick. This is the hardest hole on the course. You're going to see the super snap hook that I love to do. And this is where you can get into trouble at Pinehurst, all the Pinehurst courses, but Pinehurst number 2, this is a long par 4, and I had to punch that out. And then you're hitting these off these fairways, which I found really nice. I don't think they're as difficult as people have said about the strike with how tight the lie is, but you have to be more precise. That was my first bogey of the round, and it felt like a par. So that kind of gives you this low snappy hook, par 5. And this was a gut punch. As we see, sandy area counter, I'm already up to 4. Hit a fairly good 7-iron, and I'm just like, okay, let's lay up to 100 yards, give ourselves a decent approach. The fairway slopes into this bunker, so I had that pull spin on it, and then that led to this, and I just missed. I guess I missed it. I don't remember that, and then I flew the green with this one. It's just a whole lot of struggle bus here, and I mean, I'm sure like maybe I wasn't playing as good as I could have, but I also think this course has a way that is not easily explained. So like that putt on the left quadrant and the right quadrant, right goes off the green. See, look at my playing partner. He had a ball that wasn't a bad chip, and that went all the way to the bunker. Mine goes all the way here. And from 100 yards in, that's like, what, another double bogey? And that's very normal. Caught this thin, looked up, kind of been doing that, not the best thing, but as long as you advance the ball with those type of strikes, it's not the worst. Sandy area number 5, so the counter is up. As you can see, if you don't like playing out of the sand, this is not your course. I actually got up and down, I believe, from there, so that was like the first par. The guy that had told me about the putting also told me it takes about 6 holes to get into this course. I think it takes a few times understanding what this type of course is. This was a real neat, I feel, gettable hole that I kind of blundered by pulling a shot into the woods, but I got really lucky with a wide open gateway. Had about a 6 or a 5 iron hitting through there. Really hit this good shot, and this is where you're going to see specific questions. I hit it into that bunker. On most courses, that would have been a greenside chip or on the green. Pinehurst number 2, that's a greenside bunker. Made bogey, good score from there, but it's just hard, right? And then here's another par 5. Once again, not bad driving on my part, getting it out there. Tried to take a 5-wood out of there, just couldn't elevate it, didn't get clean contact. And this is just what you see. I guess I forgot to put the sandy counter, so there's more sandy shots than I'd hit. I'm kind of overwhelmed at what's happening. I don't really remember. I vaguely remember this hole because I remember that lip. But I think that's another issue I have with Pinehurst number 2. That was a big flop shot that I hit from behind the green that was actually incredible. So this is number 9. This was tracking to the hole, and then I just caught that lip. I thought I was really going to give it a good go, and just didn't go. Be sure to rake up bunkers, by the way, if you play nice courses. So back 9, I definitely played a lot better. It's kind of hard to play these courses and not be a little intimidated and in shock because you're basically $500 to $600 down the tube to play one of America's masterpieces, and whether you like it or not, no matter how much money you have, you're probably not playing this course all that much. So that looked pretty decent. That was a sawed-off wedge. And this is kind of like my issue with Pinehurst, is a lot of these holes, they kind of blend together because it's more like a standardized test. So this was just another drive, stayed left, hit it pretty good. Came up a little short with a gap wedge, but it's like the one disappointment I had at this course was I really was hoping for more of the holes to stand out. They were just more like gut punches. So I got par on that hole. This is the following hole where I missed outright. Not mad that we didn't get that one. I actually didn't film my punch out or my approach. This is my 4th shot into this hole, and I hit a really good putt, even though that stroke was nasty. Got that to about a foot or two, and that's the Pinehurst wedge where you have to hit it. This is just, once again, just trying to take a 3-wood, bang it out there. That was about as good of a shot as I had hit all day. And then this is the specific question. So you have bunkers on your right. If you drive it too far, bunkers to your left, bunkers to your right. I had that chasing onto the green. It hits the false front, and then I'm in the bunker. And it's like, okay, I guess I just needed another club, but here we go. Club face looks a little shut, more than I'd probably like it. But that was a really hard shot. I didn't really document it that well, but there's a huge lip. And then, once again, playing for bogey. Got the bogey right here. Played up par. And pretty satisfied with that. You know, this is definitely not a course for leisure. This was my best hole. Absolutely cranked it. 415-yard par 4. Smashed it, had a 7 iron in. I'll talk about this for the rest of my life, and put that to about probably like 10 feet, and absolutely looking it down. And then this is all I had for birdie, and this was such a good, I love that stroke. Such a good feeling making that, because that was my birdie. Okay, thought I was going, and it's like, okay, we've kind of figured it out, and got that to the front of the green. This is another one of these par 3s. Visually kind of looks uninteresting, but just a very slopey, difficult green. Easy to 3-putt or 4-putt any green. And it's really like you have to think about it as you're hitting 4 strokes around the green. And if you get less than 4 strokes around the green, you're really doing good. This was one of the more beautiful holes because it has a piece of a lake in the hole, kind of like number 4. Smaller version of that. I absolutely crushed that drive, hit it into that sandy area bunker, and then left myself this for eagle caught it thin, and then just a bad read for the birdie putt, but got out of there. It was really hot, and I hate making excuses, but I think my body just gave up on me. I fanned one out right on this kind of like probably one of the more majestic and pretty par threes. And even that 58 kind of stayed right, although the alignment was probably utterly trash. And I converted a bogey, which is actually a really good score from that. But it gets really hot, and this course kind of really drains you, because if you're not able to hit specific shots at specific times, it's just kind of like bully beatdown. That's the beautiful 18th hole, and that's kind of just how it looks and sits. And I really wanted to finish strong here, and I totally didn't. Fanned one out right. Had my probably like 16th sand shot of the day. Went over the green, and then I got up, and I basically ended with a double. It's really slow on the back too, just to let you know. Thank you for watching this vlog. I appreciate anyone who contributes or subscribes or even likes a video. This is a passion project, and I'm just trying to do the best I can.